Oh no, not now. Why does it always have to be now? When desire hits at the worst times, it feels like the universe is playing a cruel joke on you. Ever been stuck in traffic, bored out of your mind with nothing but the radio for company? Suddenly, bam, your brain decides it's time for some daydreaming. And not just any daydreaming, not about winning the lottery. No, that would be too practical. Instead, it's about that hot barista with the forearm tattoo you saw this morning. It always happens at the worst possible moment, doesn't it? Like during your grandma's 90th birthday party when you should be focused on her. Or even worse, in the middle of a job interview when you're trying to impress your potential boss. Desire is like that annoying friend who shows up unannounced, usually with terrible timing and never takes a hint. It's the ultimate party crasher, the king of awkward entrances, always making things more complicated, and it doesn't care if you're wearing sweatpants and a face mask, looking your absolute worst. Desire is here to play, and it plays by its own rules. I remember that time you bumped into your high school crush at the grocery store. Yeah, me too. It was unforgettable, except I was wearing mismatched flip-flops and buying a year's supply of frozen pizza. Talk about embarrassing. Not exactly the image of cool and confident I was going for, more like a walking disaster. Desire, you gotta love it. Or at least, you have to learn to live with it. Or at the very least, learn to laugh at its awful timing, because sometimes that's all you can do. The hormone hot mess. Biology goes bonkers. Imagine a world where tiny chemical messengers are the puppet masters of our emotions and actions. Let's talk hormones. Those tiny chemical messengers that turn us into blushing, stammering fools. They are the unsung heroes and sometimes the villains of our daily lives. Testosterone, the hormone often associated with men, is like that friend who's always up for a good time. It's the life of the party, making you feel invincible and ready to conquer the world. Estrogen, often linked with women, is more like a roller coaster with its ups and downs. One moment you're on top of the world, the next you're plunging into an emotional abyss. But here's the thing about hormones. They don't play by the rules. They are unpredictable, like a wild card in a deck of cards. They're like teenagers with a driver's license and a whole lot of freedom. They can take you on a joyride or leave you stranded. They surge and dip, whisper sweet nothings, and then ghost you completely. One moment they're your best friend, the next they've vanished without a trace. It's a hormonal roller coaster, and we're just along for the ride. Buckle up because it's going to be a bumpy journey.
One minute you're totally cool and collected, feeling like you have everything under control. The next you're sweating and forgetting how to form a sentence. It's like your brain has hit the pause button. Thanks, hormones. You're real subtle, always keeping us on our toes, never a dull moment. But hey, at least they keep things interesting, right? Life would be pretty boring without their unpredictable antics.
Public displays of awkwardness, desires, embarrassing encore. We've all been there. You lock eyes with someone across a crowded room, and suddenly you're a fumbling, bumbling mess. You spill your drink, trip over your own feet, and say the most ridiculous things.
Remember that time I accidentally called my boss honey in a meeting? Yeah, let's not talk about it.
Desire has a knack for turning us into our most awkward selves, especially in public.
It's like our inner monologue goes from be cool to quick, do a dance, no, tell a joke, wait, just run.
And the worst part, everyone else seems to be handling it with grace and composure, while we're over here looking like we just discovered fire again. Desire-driven dumb moves, we've all been there. It's a universal experience, a rite of passage, if you will.
The things we do for desire. It makes us dream, it makes us hope, and sometimes it makes us act a little foolish. We spend hours crafting the perfect text message only to cringe at our own words later. We hit send and immediately regret it, replaying the moment over and over in our heads.
We try way too hard to be cool and nonchalant, ending up looking like we belong in a bad spy movie. Our attempts at subtlety are anything but subtle.
I once spent an entire afternoon trying to casually bump into a guy I liked at the bookstore. I thought it would be the perfect meet cute. I even memorized the titles of books I thought he might like, just so I could strike up a conversation. I rehearsed my lines like an actor preparing for a big scene.
Did it work? Did my elaborate plan pay off?
Let's just say I'm now very knowledgeable about 18th century French poetry. Not exactly the outcome I was hoping for, but hey, knowledge is power, right?
Desire is the ultimate puppet master, and we're just its clumsy puppets dancing to its tune. It pulls our strings and we follow, often stumbling along the way. We make grand gestures, write terrible poetry, and sing off-key karaoke, all in the name of love, or at least a good make-out session. It's all part of the human experience, a testament to our willingness to go to great lengths for a chance at connection. Love, lust, and laughter. Embracing the chaos of desire, sure. Desire can be messy, awkward, and downright embarrassing. It can make us do things we never thought we were capable of, both good and bad. But it's also a reminder that we're alive, that we're capable of feeling things deeply, even if it means occasionally falling flat on our faces, metaphorically speaking, of course. So the next time you feel that familiar surge of desire, don't fight it, embrace the chaos. Laugh at the awkwardness. And who knows, you might even end up with a good story to tell, or at least a funny text message to share with your friends.